All right, let me take the first question with Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Mr. Singhvi, you call it coercion, you call it weaponization of central agencies. But on the other hand, what about the charge of a constitutional post like the chief minister barging into an office where investigations are being carried out by a central agency and leaving with files?
Preeti, let me put it in context. Things are contextual and inferential. Nobody writes to you saying, I'm doing this or that. You have to infer things. Now, just look at this and consider the overall context. This, by the ED's own statement, and remember, I'm saying ED's own statement, is related to the Anup Maji case, and their own statement dates it to 2020. So my question number one to common sense, before to myself and to your viewers, is in a 2020 case, in 2025, it is 2 months before the election or 3 months before the elections that you raid, don't question, you raid the principal political strategist of a party. One. Now, add up all the things. One straw doesn't break the camel's back. Look at the coincidences. You do not do this before. If you had some material, you could have questioned him. In fact, the normal route is notice questioning for 5 long years. And just on the cusp of elections, you do it. His status is that of a political advisor. Now, there is, and Ms. Mamata Banerjee has not gone there in capacity as chief minister. She's gone there as the tallest leader of a party. Of course, she's always been very spontaneous, a bit overconnected with the ground. So she may have done in an emotional sense. But she suddenly finds that data involving her candidates, involving exchange of very sensitive political strategy. And let me tell you, this strategy includes whom to fit where, which ticket to give to whom, which alliance to have. And everybody knows. Tell me one thing, Preeti, in 75 years, you've had non-Congress governments, you've had Congress governments, you've had BJP governments, many. You've had JD governments. Has anybody thought on the cusp of an election to revive a 2020 case of Anup Maji by raiding the principal chief political strategist? Congress has one known person, I won't take his name. Tomorrow, just before some election in Telangana, you go and raid him. You don't give him a notice for questioning. What is the emergency? What is the emergent exigency? It is obviously political, camouflaged as law enforcement. The man is not he's not a absconder. He's not a normal criminal. He's not an offender. He's not a repeat offender. He's a professional. Now you may have, nobody is, grudging you some investigation, but this is not the way to do it. And all that she has done is she has sanitized the political information. You can collect what else you like. See, main information for ED in normal investigation, Preeti, is bank accounts, is bank data. It's the background information you collect first. You are taking away en masse things which must have, and this is what I will call the hot period. The hot period is before the election. Every information will be there. Okay. So this is the context you must see it in.
But, you point to a context. And let me also say, one can raise the question, even us back here at India today, me and my team went back 10 years, all elections that have taken place, save 2 states, we have seen that 2 or 3 months right before elections, there is central agency action against the opposition parties or the incumbent government if it's not the BJP. But having said that, Dr. Singhvi, there is a larger question here. You might say that she acted in capacity as the chief of a big political party. She holds a constitutional post, and federalism is a two-way street. She's the one who's constantly evoked that federalism is in danger. To go ahead and what clearly seems to be obstructing a central agency for carrying out its work, how does one explain that, sir?
No, there is no, you see, that's the point. It depends on what is happening that you will use the word obstruction. Now, in a normal criminal investigation, you'll give a notice, you'll call me, you'll interrogate me. You tell me one thing, have they interrogated this gentleman even once? Again, you must look at the context. 2020 case. Have they called him for questioning even once? Why in January before March and April? That's a question I must ask repeatedly. This is not a, the very timing, the scope, the targets, it reveals that it's a political assault. It is not normal and correct and legitimate law enforcement. And, frankly, you can always separate completely, but the financial and the political information. But you are here en masse trying to take away, has to have political information of a sensitive nature. She may, I mean, she maybe different people do it different ways, but she has every right to protect her political information. Now, this is an unseemly thing, and let me tell you, you said 10 years, Preeti. I agree with you entirely. It has never happened before 10 years. You are having this time and again in states. Tell me a single friendly government for any reason suffering such adversity just before elections. It has happened earlier in different contexts. Leaders have been picked up. This time it's even worse because it's a political analyst. But leaders have been picked up, arrested. Which government of any political color, including BJP, has done this earlier? This is not democracy. This is vendetta. And this is a bad precedent for the future. No government is
But
there for
Dr. Singhvi,
eternity.
like I said, federalism is a two-way street, and you say and you talk of
Okay, let
setting a
me answer
bad
federalism.
precedent. No, you
Let me
talk of
answer.
setting a bad precedent for a
Yes.
sitting chief minister to behave in the manner that the West Bengal chief minister has behaved. That doesn't behove of somebody who's holding a constitutional
She
post, sir.
has gone, Preeti, completely in her capacity as the leader of a party. She has not gone as chief minister. Now it happens to be the case that she's also the chief minister. She has not done any obstruction except taking what she believes is political information and walked away. She has not said you can't go here and there.
Dr. Singhvi, you question, okay, the question is of the timing of the agency acting. Are you questioning the efficacy of the case? Because on the other hand, you've had someone like an Abhishek Banerjee, the nephew of Mamata Banerjee, who's constantly, have been sent notices and notices that he's thumbed his nose at from the Enforcement Directorate regarding the coal scam, which ties into, as per the ED, on the investigations that are being carried out at IPAC.
You are absolutely right, which is a very strong point in favor of what I'm saying. This is an intersection of at the most maximum against the dispensation in West Bengal, an intersection of cattle and coal scam, right? Let us take it. Mr. Abhishek Banerjee has been questioned umpteen times. He has been harassed, summons have been issued, he's gone to court, I have appeared, and you have got orders. That is why it is important to read the statement of ED on the first day, I think yesterday or day before. It links it says it is legitimate policing for the Anup Maji case which opened in 2020. Now, in Anup Maji case, you have done with the interrogation of Mr. Abhishek Banerjee. Have you interrogated Mr. Jain? Even once in 5 years. Comes along the election of March, April, whatever, May, and you suddenly come in January without an interrogation, without a notice, without calling him for summoning him for questioning, and you enter the house and the office and start collecting data. So ultimately, these have to be inferential. You have to read between the lines.
But Dr. Singhvi, you're a lawyer, but many would think that under PMLA, the ED is well within its right to act in the manner that it has acted.
That's the point.
No, sir. And the question also being, because the charges are grave, the ED alleges that it is scam money of coal loot that has been funneled through the IPAC to feed a campaign of the TMC in Goa.
Okay, now let us look at this. It's very serious. It's emergent. I have to raid you. I can't question you. I have no time for questioning you. What have they recovered? Very clear there is no recovery. It's very serious, will be reflected in the bank accounts. And if it is funneling for a Goa case, Goa elections are neither in the near future, they were quite a while ago. If it is funneling money for some other Anup Maji scam, that was in 2020, 21, 22, we've done innumerable cases of Mr. Abhishek Banerjee himself. Where is the connect for this month? And he's a professional. You don't suddenly land up on the professional in this humiliating manner just because he's closely connected. Every party has strategists, professionals.
But Dr. Singhvi, you know it better. That's the nature of the PMLA.
No, the existence of power does not justify its misuse. PMLA means that I can arrest you anytime. Does it mean that it's justified? No. Please, let's get it clear.
Okay.
The existence of a legal statute is the existence of a power. The exercise of power is very different from the PMLA. Nothing to do with PMLA. PMLA doesn't tell you that the exercise must be on the cusp of an election. PMLA doesn't tell you that every raid on every political person near the election is somehow always related to the opposition. PMLA doesn't tell you that you cannot do most of the things with a prior notice and with a prior checking of the bank accounts. This is exercise of power. Please make a sharp distinction. This is a malafide, vendetta-driven exercise of power which has nothing to do with the text of the law. The text of the law doesn't say anything of this sort.
Dr. Singhvi, the ED will have us believe today that what you speak of, the exercise of power, was exercised today at the High Court in Kolkata and the hearing couldn't take place. because there was some abject
That is
chaos by
an,
Mamata Banerjee's TMC cadre?
well, I would not support in any form you, me, or anybody else disrupting any court proceedings. I don't think this will continue like this. There will be sanity and peace. Sometimes I think cadres are themselves so emotively, exercised that you may have a outpouring which is disproportionate, and that should be controlled. I will not hold a brief for saying that you can enter a courtroom and disrupt. But I think this should not be repeated, and there should be a fair hearing. I mean, this is ultimately one side will get some idea, the other of the other side's point of view.
Dr. Singhvi, let me ask you one final question before we let you go. Somebody who's as astute as you are in the reading of the law, if you were to legally advise Mamata Banerjee, would you have advised her to barge in to a building, despite of it being
No,
IPAC and her consultancy, and
see,
take away the
Pre,
files that she did in the
pre,
manner
pre,
with which she did?
Preeti, first of all, I don't give unasked advice. Secondly, if I do give unasked advice, I don't reveal it on television channels. Thirdly, it is privileged advice if and when asked and in what manner asked. So you can rest assured over a cup of coffee, we can discuss it privately, maybe,
But you
but
did give it
certainly not on
away.
a channel.
But Dr. Singhvi, you gave it away right in the beginning where you said she made an emotional decision.
No, I am not, I know the chief minister. As a human being, she is, very connected to the grounds. She is, I think, rooted more than possibly any other elected leader or very few others like her. And she has a direct communication with her people. She has felt outraged. There is no doubt about it. And she has gone as a leader of a TMC. She has not gone as a chief minister. This much I can say. Nothing to do with advice which I give her or not give her.
Okay.